Right now, minus 50 degrees wind chill is hitting parts of Canada. That is cold enough to give you frostbite in under 5 minutes. And if you are in Ontario, Quebec, or the Prairies, what is coming in the next 48 hours could be even worse. So here is the deal. In the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through every major city in this country, tell you exactly when the cold peaks, when it eases up, and what you absolutely need to do to stay safe. And stay with me until the 5-minute mark, because that is where I reveal which Canadian city is about to get hit with the most dangerous conditions this week, and it is not the one you think. But first, drop a comment right now with the city or town you are living in. I read every single one, and I will reply with a personalized forecast update just for your area. Seriously, do it now before you forget. All right, let us start with the national picture, and the numbers here are staggering. Canada's average temperature right now is sitting around minus 3.3 degrees Celsius. But that national average is hiding something wild. The spread between our warmest and coldest cities today is over 60 degrees. Vancouver is sitting at 9 above zero. Iqaluit could hit minus 50 with wind chill. 60 degrees of difference inside the same country on the same day. Think about that for a second. Across the country, we are looking at roughly 20 days of snowfall this February, with cumulative totals averaging about 37 centimeters. Winds are running around 22 kilometers per hour nationally. And when you combine those winds with these temperatures, that is where things get dangerous. Do not skip the next section, because I am about to break down your city, your timing, and your risk level. Let us start in Ontario. Toronto, you are in a significant cold snap right now. The daytime high today, Sunday, February the 8th, is only reaching minus 10 degrees Celsius. The overnight low drops to minus 13. Now, here is the thing most people miss. Toronto's normal high for early February is minus 0.3 degrees. So you are running almost 10 degrees below normal. That is not a regular cold day. That is an anomaly. Southwest winds are pushing 18 kilometers per hour, which means wind chill is making it feel like minus 18 to minus 20. The cold peaks tonight and into Monday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, you should start seeing a slight moderation, but do not expect anything close to normal until later in the week. Here is what you need. 3 layers minimum. Moisture-wicking base layer, insulating mid-layer, windproof outer shell, toque, heavy gloves, scarf covering your face, and winter boots with real traction. If you are driving in the Greater Toronto area, check those winter tires and keep an emergency kit in the trunk. And I mean a real kit: blankets, candles, water, a charged phone. Now here is a twist most people do not expect. The days are actually getting longer. Sunrise today is 7:25, sunset is 5:38. That gives you 10 hours and 13 minutes of daylight, noticeably more than January. Spring is out there, it just does not feel like it yet. Ottawa, you are even colder. The nation's capital sits further inland, higher latitude, and February daytime highs normally only hit minus 4, with overnight lows dropping to minus 15. With this cold snap layered on top, you are looking at wind chill values potentially hitting minus 25 today. The Rideau Canal, the longest naturally frozen skating rink in the world, is fully frozen over, and it is beautiful out there. But here is my advice. Keep your skating sessions short. Get inside every 20 to 30 minutes. Grab a beaver tail and a hot chocolate from the canal side stands. Frostbite does not send you a warning before it sets in. The cold in Ottawa peaks tonight through Monday. The worst wind chill hits in the early morning hours. Tuesday should bring slight relief, but you are not out of the deep freeze until midweek at the earliest. Belleville, Eastern Ontario, you are getting hammered. The high today is only minus 15. The low tonight, minus 21. Westerly winds at 18 kilometers per hour, with barometric pressure sitting high at 30 inches of mercury. That high pressure system is locked in, and it is not moving anytime soon. If you can stay indoors today, do it. Check your furnace and insulate any exposed water pipes. A burst pipe in this cold is an expensive disaster you do not need. Niagara Falls, you are normally a touch milder than Toronto thanks to the lakes, but not today. You are running well below your usual averages of 2 degrees for the high and minus 3 for the low. But here is something incredible. If you visit the falls right now, you might witness portions of Niagara partially freezing over. It is one of the most spectacular natural sights in the world, and it only happens during deep freezes like this one. Worth the trip if you bundle up properly. London and Barrie, you are both sitting in Ontario's notorious snowbelt. Lake effect snow off the Great Lakes can dump heavy accumulations with almost no warning. London normally sees highs around 1 degree, lows around -5. Barrie runs a bit colder, highs of -1, lows of -8. Keep watching Environment Canada alerts today. Lake effect squalls can create serious travel hazards before you even have time to react. Do not miss the next section because we are heading east into Quebec and the Atlantic, and some of these numbers are going to shock you. Montreal, Canada's second largest city and the cultural capital of French-speaking North America. February here means a world of white. Average daytime temperatures run about -3, nighttime drops to -11, and it regularly dips below -12 after dark. But here is what makes Montreal different. This city gets significantly more snow than Toronto. Blizzards are a regular feature, and Montreal has adapted in the most brilliant way. The city built an underground pedestrian network called the Réseau, stretching over 33 kilometers. It connects shopping centers, metro stations, and office towers. You can go about your entire day without ever stepping outside into the cold. 33 kilometers of climate-controlled walkways underneath a frozen city. That is incredible engineering. Today, northeast winds are pushing wind chill values even lower. Visibility could drop with light snow or ice fog. If you are driving between Montreal and Quebec City on Auto Route 20 or Auto Route 40, slow down and leave extra following distance. Those highways get treacherous fast. Quebec City, one of the oldest cities in North America and one of the coldest in eastern Canada. February highs average -5, lows hit -15. The famous Carnaval de Quebec is running right now, ice sculptures, outdoor activities, and the legendary Bonhomme Carnaval himself. If you are out enjoying it, warm fluids every 20 to 30 minutes, windproof clothing, and head inside regularly. The cold peaks here overnight tonight through early Monday. Now the Atlantic coast, and this is where the story gets really interesting. Halifax, perched on the Atlantic shore, gets a slightly milder winter thanks to ocean influence. Highs around 0, lows around -6. But Halifax pays for that mildness with wind and moisture. This is one of the windiest and wettest cities in Canada during winter. Atlantic nor'easters bring heavy snow, freezing rain, and wind gusts that will knock you sideways. Watch Environment Canada closely today for any coastal storm systems tracking your way. St. John S., Newfoundland, one of the most weather-beaten cities in North America, and it wears that badge with pride. February temperatures range from -1 to -7, but the relentless Atlantic wind makes it feel dramatically colder. Visibility can drop to near 0 when storms roll in off the ocean. Keep emergency supplies on hand. Food, candles, batteries, warm blankets. Power outages here are not rare. They are expected. Moncton, New Brunswick. Temperatures similar to Halifax, -1 to -8. Winds off the Bay of Fundy, home to the highest tides on the planet, add a serious bite. Expect cloudy skies today with scattered snow flurries and moderate northeast winds. All right, now the prairies. This is where Canada's winter shows its teeth. Calgary, sitting at the foot of the Rockies at over 1,000 meters elevation. February averages -4 for the high, -13 for the low. But here is the plot twist. Calgary has a secret weapon called the Chinook. These warm winds sweep down from the Rocky Mountains and can send temperatures soaring 15 to 20 degrees in just a few hours. If a Chinook rolls in today, Calgarians could get a brief and glorious reprieve. Without one, you are locked in below freezing all day. Calgary is also one of the sunniest cities in Canada, even in winter. But do not let that blue sky fool you. The February sun lifts your mood, not the temperature. Keep your parka on. Edmonton, 300 kilometers north of Calgary, is one of the coldest major cities in the world with a population over 1 million. February highs average -6, lows -14. A degree or two colder than Calgary because Edmonton sits further north and misses most of those Chinook winds. Deep cold today with a chance of light snow. And Edmontonians, please plug in your block heaters tonight. Nothing worse than a -20 morning and a car that will not start. Now here is the 5-minute reveal I promised you. The most dangerous conditions this week are not in Edmonton. They are not in Winnipeg, even though Winnipeg holds the unofficial title of coldest major city in the world. The answer is Iqaluit, Nunavut. But before we get there, let me tell you about Winnipeg first because these numbers are absolutely brutal. Winnipeg sits in the middle of the flat prairies with no forests, no mountains, nothing to block the Arctic air that blasts straight down from the pole. February daytime temperatures run -12 to -15, nighttime drops to -22 to -25. Wind chill regularly hits -30 to -40. At those levels, exposed skin can develop frostbite in 10 to 15 minutes. The cold is peaking right now and will not ease significantly until Wednesday. Regina and Saskatoon, similar story, -10 to -20 degrees. The vast open landscape makes these cities extremely vulnerable to blizzards. High winds whip snow into complete whiteout conditions, visibility drops to zero, and highway travel becomes life-threateningly dangerous. If there is a blizzard warning in effect, do not drive. Period. It is not worth the risk. Now the West Coast, and this is going to feel like a completely different country. Vancouver. After everything you just heard, brace yourself. Today's temperature in Vancouver is 9 degrees Celsius, 9 above zero. Thanks to the Pacific Ocean and warm currents, Vancouver rarely dips below freezing even in the dead of winter. The early February average sits around 11.9 degrees. But Vancouver pays for that mildness with rain, a lot of rain. In February, Vancouver averages 22 days of rain with total precipitation reaching 242.3 millimeters. That is rain on almost every single day. Your umbrella is not optional. Some light snow is possible around February the 12th, but it is rain that dominates here. Victoria on Vancouver Island is even warmer, February highs of 7 to 9 degrees. Some early spring flowers are already blooming while the rest of the country is buried under meters of snow. And now, the far north, the numbers I promised, Whitehorse, Yukon. February temperatures range from -15 to -25. Days are short. The sun barely rises above the horizon for a few hours. But here is the reward. This is prime time for the northern lights. The aurora borealis, those magnificent ribbons of green, purple, and pink dancing across the night sky. Whitehorse has a front row seat to one of the most stunning natural shows on Earth. Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, -20 to -30 degrees. Great Slave Lake is frozen so thick you can drive a truck across it. And people do. Locals have a favorite party trick: throw boiling water into the air and watch it turn to ice crystals before it hits the ground. That is how cold it is. And finally, Iqaluit, Nunavut. This is the most dangerous forecast in Canada today. Temperatures plunging to -25 to -35 degrees. Arctic winds creating wind chill values of -45 to -50. Exposed skin develops frostbite in under 5 minutes. Daylight lasts only 7 to 8 hours, and the sun hangs so low it barely warms anything. The extreme cold continues through this entire week, with the worst wind chill hitting overnight tonight and into Monday. There is no significant relief in the forecast until next weekend at the earliest. Here is one more number that shows just how extreme this country is. Fort St. John in northeastern British Columbia is technically in the same province as Vancouver. Same province. But today Fort St. John is sitting at -15 to -25 degrees, while Vancouver enjoys 9 above. That is a 34-degree spread within a single province. Canada is unbelievable. All right, here is your safety checklist no matter where you are. Check Environment Canada before going outside. Layer up, base layer, mid-layer, windproof shell. Cover all exposed skin when it drops below -10. If you are driving, carry a winter survival kit, blankets, candles, matches, food, water, a shovel, booster cables, and a charged phone. Watch out for seniors, young children, and anyone with heart or respiratory conditions. They are the most vulnerable. And on the West Coast, that persistent heavy rain can cause localized flooding and mudslides in hilly terrain. Stay away from steep slopes and landslide advisory areas. Now, before you go, I need you to do 2 things. First, comment below with your city right now. I will respond with your specific timing and forecast details. Second, tomorrow's update is going to cover a developing system that could bring major changes by midweek. I am not going to say which region yet, but if you thought today's numbers were intense, you are going to want to see what is heading our way next. Make sure you catch that one. Stay warm, stay